So as you can see right here, all the markets are a little bit in the red today. Things are going down against US dollars, but altcoins are also going a little bit down against Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin slowly coming down right here, kind of into our 60-day cycle low, and we have been expecting this because the stablecoin dominance is showing some bullish signs. So guys, that will be the topic of today's video. We are going to have a look at Bitcoin shorter term time frame. We are going to have a look at Bitcoin long term time frame, derivatives exchange data, stablecoin dominance, and I also want to have a quick chat about the new policy from US dollar Tether, which I personally think is very important. So guys, let's jump straight into it. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still moving in this sideways range at the resistance roughly, but I'm actually quite surprised how good Bitcoin is holding, and therefore I want to bring you guys basically to the weekly time frame. But before I do that, I do want to say that we were expecting Bitcoin to come a little bit down right here. Why? Because we have some massive resistance, some bearish divergences, and we have on the stablecoin dominance like a very clear bullish divergence right here, actually a double or triple. As you can see, low, lower low, lower low. Here we have a low, higher low, higher low. So definitely there could be some more steam right here to go a little bit higher before eventually going lower. It's also known as a breather or a retracement. We have seen this thing coming down, so maybe we just go a little bit sideways or a little bit bouncy to the upside, which equals Bitcoin going sideways or Bitcoin slightly coming down. We have a 60-day cycle low coming in around the 12th of December. Would be very interesting if Bitcoin would be at the similar levels as we are right now. Maybe after the 60-day cycle low, we can see Bitcoin continuing this uptrend. Well, why I can remain bullish? Because if we go to the daily time frame, guys, or if we go to the weekly time frame, actually, the daily looks a little bit. We can have a look at daily also, but Bitcoin is just, and let me just get rid of the drawings. Bitcoin is just in a very strong uptrend right here, and during this uptrend, of course, we are going to get shakeouts of 20, maybe 30%. And it looks like a lot of people are talking about it right now. If you go to social media, a lot of people are talking about, yeah, no, we're going to see that correction right now. And that's definitely possible because you can see we are running into some resistance right here as well. But just look at the rally we have seen in 2020 right here. What Bitcoin is doing right now is actually looking pretty similar. Like, it looks like right here, like this big red candle was this big red candle. And as you can see, this thing just went up, 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 up. And we had some corrections along the way. But as you can see, those corrections were often not longer than 1 week. Yeah, here we had multi-week corrections. But most corrections were just 1 week, coming down, already getting bought up. I mean, we can even look at the daily time frame for that. And look at this specific chart. So right here we had a rally on the 24th of November. We got that pullback, and then on a couple of weeks later we actually broke back above that level. But these corrections are very shortly lived. We were already like the 24th of December, we had that correction for roughly 20,000 to 16,000, and the 29th of November, which is 5 days later, we were already surpassed those levels again. So probably, and based on time and based on the cycles that we are tracking, probably the potential for longer term macro environment is still to the upside. However, if you look in the shorter term time frame, so for example on the daily time frame, this doesn't really look too bullish. Right? I mean, we have this, Bitcoin is super overstretched. We have bearish divergence on the daily time frame, bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. So there's definitely some arguments to be made that we are going to see a correction from these levels. We also, if we look at derivatives exchange data, Funding rates has been very overheated, which also could signal that Bitcoin is going to get a flush before getting further. But do take in mind, guys, how you anticipate for something like that. Because, for example, if you say like, okay, I'm selling my whole hodl position in the hope I can buy back a little bit lower, then you always have the risk of getting left behind when this just maybe in a day just comes back down, shoots back up, and doesn't look back. Right, we're talking about Bitcoin right here, and I think just 2020 has been a very good example of what Bitcoin is capable to do. Bitcoin is very capable to do these crazy rallies, and if I'm looking at the sentiment personally right now, and you go to most crypto YouTubers or you go on Twitter, you see a lot of people are actually warning for a correction. I see a lot of people, they're actually warning for a correction, including me, because there are a lot of signs that point towards a direction. I think for me the most important sign, which actually nobody uses, is that the stablecoin dominance is just breaking out some resistance, looking bullish. That is my biggest sign that I think, okay, Bitcoin could get somewhat of a pullback here, but it looks like everyone is expecting that pullback, and retail is not even in the markets yet. So what I'm just trying to say is it can definitely get more crazy than this. And if we were to follow this count from Blunts, then we might be right now in that third wave, which is the longest and most aggressive wave. Most of the time goes into the direction of the trend, which is to the upside. There we might have some fuel left for Bitcoin to go higher. We also still didn't saw the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. If that comes probably right before the approval, because of insider trading, we are going to see the price going up as well. Maybe after approval, we have 1 or 2 days that the price going up as well. Maybe it's going to be a sell the news event, but often on that exact day, probably we're going to see the price going up. So I would say, yes, shorter term time frame, don't ape into leverage long positions. If you want to look for longs, wait for a flush. Wait for a flush in open interest. So the open interest is really coming down a little bit. Wait for the premium index to will be at red levels again, and wait for the funding rates to come down to these levels a little bit, to more normal levels. They don't necessarily directly have to become negative, but just calm down a little bit. People a little bit less optimistic, and that would be more healthier market conditions to open along with a better risk to reward ratio. As right now, of course, aping into long leveraged leverage longs right here is just not really very smart. Okay, guys, that's for the Bitcoin price. Now we're going to the news section. I want to share a little bit about Tether. And what is interesting right here, guys, is that Tether announces wallet freezing policy for OFAC sanctioned persons. So people who are sanctioned in the United States of America, Tether can basically freeze their wallets. And this is starting to look more like a CBDC, and I want to explain to you a little bit how I want to take profits in this bull market, right? Because I don't want to be the guy who then sells all my Bitcoin for US dollar Tether, while then suddenly I'm going from a very good store of value money to a temporary one, which is centralized and can basically freeze your account, right? So I think it's very important that during a bull market, and I've been thinking a lot about this, that you during a bull market also diversify in how to take profits. And the way that I think is that it's always smart to have bank accounts in multiple countries. If you are able to do that, maybe with a second passport, or maybe with your passport, so you have with your passport you can open multiple bank accounts in different countries, and then take profits on multiple bank accounts. And if possible, would be even better in multiple currencies. So the way that I'm going to take profits is I'm going to diversify my profits into a lot of different baskets. I'm going to buy US dollars, I'm going to buy euros, I'm going to buy some Asian currencies, I'm going to buy silver, I'm going to buy gold. What else? I'm going to buy or going to roll a little bit into real estate. So in that way, because I think what's coming is that big big recession. We're not there yet. I don't think we're there yet, but I think a big recession comes, maybe even a Great Depression somewhat. And what I want to do is I want to preserve my wealth, preserve my situation, right? And I don't want to go all in, all out into one basket with all the profits that I'm making from crypto. So I want to play it smart. I want to diversify with my profits. So that's why I'm going into precious metals, a little bit into real estate, and I'm going to diversify in multiple currencies in multiple countries and having different bank accounts as well. And of course, I will always hold a bit of Bitcoin. I will always hold a bit of Ethereum. I will sell all of my altcoins eventually. But yeah, that is a little bit my plan, and I think you should make a plan for yourself as well, because if you just take profits, everything in US dollar Tether, and something happens with Tether, then all the years that you've been working in crypto has been kind of for nothing for building up your wealth, right? I'm not saying something is going to happen with Tether. Tether survived a lot of windstorms, so definitely this will be around. But do take in mind, it is kind of a CBDC. It is kind of a global CBDC. It's like a digital dollar, which is centralized, which can be frozen if you are, for example, a sanctioned person. But who knows? Regulations can change in the future, and then suddenly they can freeze accounts that have interact in the past with these and these accounts, or have interacted with these and these applications and programs. You never know, right? So when I read news like this is lowering the trust that I have in stablecoins like a US dollar Tether. Not because the value is pegged $1 to $1. I've seen 2017 bull market, guys. We've seen crazy Tether FOD, which they survive. So I'm not really scared of that. I'm just more scared of to have all my eggs in one basket, which is a centralized basket, which is then again controlled by other people. And the reason that we are in crypto is to get that decentralization, to be that owner of your own funds, right? So there's really this, you really have to find this balance between like making profits in crypto and being part of that revolution of decentralized money, but also preserving your wealth, because the Bitcoin price is just moving through these cycles. So yeah, guys, that is the information I have for you in today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you want to long on Bitcoin, wait for Bitcoin to get a nice flush. If you want to open a free $2,000 long position, you can do that over on BingX. You need to sign up with the affiliate link down below, and if you do that, you can basically claim a free $100 Tether trading bonus, which you can use to open a 20x leverage long or 20x leverage short over on Bitcoin or altcoins, whatever you want. If you meet the deposit requirements and so on, you can also, by joining BingX with the affiliate link down below, you can also join Will Alerts. Yesterday we have been posting 2 new altcoins on Will Alerts that are looking very, very good in the Bitcoin comparative. So definitely check that out. If you already have a BingX account or you want to join with a different exchange, make sure to join with Bybit or BitGet. I would definitely recommend every single one to have an account on all of these exchanges anyway. I'm using all 3 exchanges, and I really I'm really satisfied with all of them. I think the service is pretty good, the liquidity is very good, the trading pairs, they are different on all the exchanges. So on one exchange you have more trading pairs than the other, which is also very beautiful. On BingX there is no KYC, also very beautiful. So yeah, definitely worth to check them out if you are a trader and if you are still looking for an exchange, or if you only have one exchange that you're trading up. Always good to have some backup exchanges. And right now you can definitely take advantage of that free $100 Tether. And if you meet the deposit requirements, also joining Will Alerts. Guys, that was it for today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.